play my educational insight. Nazam, you're slipping up, Ziad, but nonetheless, it is educational insights now. And today, this segment, I'm speaking about accelerated learning. So I've seen a post where there's going to be a webinar hosted by Zainub Osman on accelerated learning. And it's somebody who has a passion for education, who is an advocate for education in terms of our journey leading our children to responsible adulthood. And part of it is to get our cognitions in the power of learning. And I was very interested when I read that post came away about accelerated learning. So yes, I decided to contact Zainab for her to come and explain to us what is accelerated learning all about. And then even better, because we have a life coach for kids, Junaid Bayat, and he's actually the founder and creator of the accelerated learning program. He's an authority coach, a life coach for kids, and a personal power for kids. And he's internationally certified performance specialist. So they're going to tell us all about what is this accelerated learning program. It was launched in October 2011. It was featured on SABC as well. It's used at the University of UKZN, and it's a proven system used by 125,000 students, used by 10,000 educators and parents, and over 8,000 institutes globally. So let's learn about what is accelerated learning. Let me just check with Ziad. Do I have? Yes, I have both Junaid Bayat and Zainab on the line. So let me welcome Zainab. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Zainab, and welcome to Salam Media.
Alaikum salam. Jazakallah so much for having me.
Okay, and let me welcome founder of the program, Junaid Bayat. Assalamu alaikum, brother Junaid, and welcome to Salam Media. Let me just check if I've got Junaid on there. Ziad, do we have Brother Junaid? Okay, so Zainab, let me start with you while we're trying to raise and sort out technical issues with Brother Junaid. So tell me, what is accelerated learning? What is the program about?
So it's a program designed to teach students how to learn, because we go to school and we are taught what to learn. However, nobody has ever taught us how to learn it. So accelerated learning is a program that it's like a whole lot of frameworks in there designed on learning techniques. We learn how to study faster, smarter, and easier. There's a lot of methods to use. This all results in a child's confidence, increasing confidence, better marks. There's a lot more time because of the techniques. We finish studying a whole lot faster. So yeah.
Okay, so optimal age in terms of starting the accelerated program?
From 9 up. From the age of 9, you can start until however old you are.
Okay, so can somebody like me, if I'm thinking of going back to further my studies, and I find now that I understand better, but my memory retention is all over the place. It used to be my pride and joy that I could remember facts and things like that, but I don't know if it's old age. So could somebody like myself benefit from the accelerated learning program?
Of course, definitely. In fact, there's separate memory mastery programs and workshops as well. So specifically for that as well. Definitely, anybody can.
Okay. You made a very important point is when we're at school, we are told that we need to learn this, you need to learn this. These are certain facts, especially if you're studying social sciences. There's certain things you need to commit to memory. Talking about mathematics also, you need to commit to memory your various theorems and things like that. And we're told that you need to learn this and they're going to be assessed when you write an examination, but nobody actually gives you skills and techniques on how to study. That always seems like, you have to then go for a course on study methods and things like that. but it's not part of your school syllabus, so to think, to recognize, to learn how to study, and that is this program. It's giving you the technique on the house.
Yeah. So the entire framework of the program is based on 6 pillars. The first one being the psychology. Now, your psychology is your foundation. So where your mindset is, what your beliefs are, your focus. Um, your psychology also would refer to your learning styles, your personality type, because I mean, we all have different personality types. There's different learning styles. Um, it's the way we want to accept work, the way we as individuals need to grasp and capture work, because I mean, none of us, will understand and take in work as the next person would. So psychology is our foundation. After psychology is the productivity. Now that will branch off into your study time, because I mean, time management when studying is so important. Taking notes, etc. Um, you know, because so many people don't know how to study. You'll get a kid who'll read through their work 3 or 4 times and say, "No, I'm done studying," and that's literally just reading and taking down a few notes. But that's not studying. It's play reading and taking footnotes. There's nothing to it there. Nothing is actually going in. And so another branch of your productivity would be memory techniques. Learning how to remember stuff, learning how to remember a whole lot of information at once and still remembering it. Reading. So we go to school, we are taught how to read, but reading at a faster speed, accepting the work and absorbing the work faster is part of it. And then problem solving, etc. So technical thinking, that's also part of it. And so during exams, that all of this is extremely important. The
Okay.
third pillar is
Can I just hold you there? Then I just want to welcome. We finally got Brother Junaid Bayat in the flesh here joining us. So I just want to welcome him. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Educational Insights here on Salam Media, Brother Junaid.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, Sister Mariam, Zainab, and all the listeners. Very excited to be here. Shukran for having me on.
Yes, so this is your brainchild, the accelerated learning. As somebody, as a childhood development specialist, I'm actually fascinated at programs like this where you help with various techniques so that you learn how to study. Because as Zainab and I were discussing, when you go to school, you are told you need to learn this. This needs to be committed to memory. These are the facts, especially in subjects like social sciences, or even when you're learning your theorems for mathematics. These things have to be committed to memory, remembered, and then applied. But your teacher doesn't spend any time to say, this is how you're going to study, or you, Fatima, you're a visual learner, so you'll need to learn it like this. You, Salim, you're an audio learner, so your technique will differ compared to this. And I'm fascinated because as Zainab told me, it's broken up, your learning program is broken up into modules. And the first one she mentioned is psychology, where you get to understand who your learner is, their learning style, their temperament, and how they're going to associate and assimilate all this information and process it. So, Brother Junaid, tell us a little bit more about this program.
Well, look, alhamdulillah, Allah's indeed blessed us that it's gone global. It's not a program that's only used here in South Africa. It's used now in Russia. We've got a coach in Russia, in Europe, in London. We've got a coach in training from Zimbabwe, as well as Zambia, and North America as well. So basically, why I'm telling you all of this is we've created a very unique framework in a niche that nobody has ever thought of in the world. Because when you look at study skills, it's mostly thought of at a higher level where universities offer you writing skills and all of that. Nobody took the time to think about, let's take 2-3 steps back and see, does the child even know how to learn? And let's break it down into all, basically I call it the structure of learning. What are all the building blocks for each age group and each phase? And alhamdulillah, look, it can fit in anywhere in any educational system and any age group. What's very interesting, Sister Mariam, is the youngest learner that has attended our full course was 6 years old. And the oldest person who ever attended the program, the full program, was a 74-year-old man with his 67-year-old wife.
And I was just asking Sister Zainab that, I asked her because for me, we focus on the young, but today with online learning and that, with lockdown, how many people went back to study to improve their skill base, also to pivot to learn a new skill? And somebody like my age, when I was young, I used to pride myself. I had, alhamdulillah, an excellent memory and I could learn things like this. But as I'm getting older, I understand things better and see connections. But you ask me, if you tell me your house number now, 5 minutes later, if I didn't write it down, I'm going to forget whether you said 39 or 93 because I don't know why I feel like my memory is now something that's going first. So that's why I asked Sister Zainab that will I be able to, the program, can I join the program and will I see results in terms of memory retention and things like that? And she said, yes. And now you've just confirmed that with the 67-year-old couple.
Not only that, Sister Mariam, we've got, the colleges, FET colleges like your Daimler, Intech, ICESA. We even have university students like UKZN, Mangosuthu University of Technology, as well as corporate companies that have been running our accelerated learning program since 2011. And the fact that you mentioned COVID-19 that came in this year, it was nothing new for us. We've been running online webinars and we had an e-learning portal from 2013. So because of my strong technology background, I brought that into education as well. So alhamdulillah, it was actually very, in all my radio interviews and podcast interviews, I mentioned one thing. This was a blessing in disguise for us because it forced the education system to look at the alternative, and that is incorporating technology and also, student-centered. Everything was centered around a school, around a teacher. Whereas learning now in the 21st century should be centered around individuals, each person on their own. So it's a whole.
I'm an advocate. Yes, for individual learning. Advocate for individual learning. I start them at 4, and when I see them the first 2 weeks, I study their temperament, each child's unique personality and temperament, and then I address each learner according to their temperament, because we learn with our emotions, we learn with our personalities, and I need to tap that in and mentor and motivate them from a young age, because that's when you build confidence in them, in esteem, the belief that I can do this and master this is when you are at their level and you link to them. And Sister Zainab, you are now one of the trainers in product, because besides getting to the learners, Junaid, you have now shared your knowledge, because Sister Zainab is a product now of somebody who is now going to train. So you train a trainer, and she's now taking this forward to her students. And how did you find this? Does this help you now when you're relating to things or you need to study as an instructor of this program? Have you found a change in yourself, Sister Zainab?
Yeah, no, definitely. I really wish that I had this last year, because I actually just finished matric, and I really wish that I had it last year. And I actually have 2 younger sisters, and there's so many tips that I can share with them. And like for myself as well, there's so many stuff that I can use for myself. And I'm not even like studying anything intense, but there's so many more stuff that I can learn myself from here.
Yes, like you say. So, I mean, now you're an instructor and you see things differently compared to what you have seen it last year, just coming out from matric, where, you study was the mantra for the whole year. Nowadays, you see things differently after having gone through Brother Junaid's course. And I think yours is next level, because now you're an instructor.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There would have been so much more time.
So
probably better results.
The program, if I now want to join the program, how is it on now? You obviously, it's going to be online one-on-one sessions. And what's the duration of the whole accelerated learning program, Brother Junaid?
Well, there's various programs, Sister Mariam. There's different phases. We've got, for example, a development phase. You got a foundation phase. You got an intermediate. It depends where the student fit in. So the first thing we got to know is, where are you as a student right now? Are you, because to give you a typical example, if a high performing student who's always getting like 60s, 70s, and 80s, you can't use the same strategies and techniques for that somebody who's struggling and failing. So we got to know where you are. and give you the skills accordingly. So we need to know whether you in the foundation phase, development phase, intermediate phase, advanced phase, and the ultimate is leadership. So there's different programs for different, kinds of learners at different phases in their lives. Like generally what we do is we split it up at primary school level for grade 3, 4, 5. We generally teach them the foundational skills, basically about how to focus, how to get into a learning state, about identifying and maximizing learning styles. So it's basically all the foundation stuff that they need for the rest of their lives. Then you might get like a grade 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, and 9 student, where we teach them more time management, better memory techniques, how to read faster, tackling exam questions at different levels. So it's always at different, it just depends where the person is. So we've got various programs. We've got the most common one is the Fast and the Curious. It's our weekly program. So we've got 4-week program, 8-week programs, 10-week programs, 12-week program, even 32-week programs, which goes for a whole year. So it just varies. And the best part is we are able to deliver it in various ways. Like Sister Zainab is doing the online webinars. We can do it live at school groups. We can do it privately. A lot of families do this privately as well. So there's various ways of delivering the program, alhamdulillah,
And the duration of the program in terms of your webinar, Sister Zainab, the one you're running, you've advertised that one there. So what's the duration of the webinar?
That one runs for about 1 hour and it's weekly.
It's a weekly 1 hour one. Yeah, so that's just enough time, because I think after an hour or so, you tend to lose your learner. And then, so continuous, I'm loving this because like I say, I'm passionate about all things education, understand things, have inputs, whether it's everything from career choices to cognitive behavioral therapy, which I conduct in it. So I'm so loving this, because I think for me, what speaks to me is from the outset, it's not all for one program. So I love that you said it depends where you are and what level and what your needs are. Because like you say, young learner, then somebody who's at grade 10 to matric, they need
DoosieMed Medicine Depot, retail pharmacy and emergency medical depot. Conveniently situated in the DoosieMed